Baby, be in love with your fantasies. I can be a star, make us shine so bright. Welcome to my dungeon, this is ecstasy. Let me play the fantasy.
What's good, YouTube? It's your girl, Asia.
It's your boy, BJ, and we back like we never left. You see me rubbing my hands together. I think we got a good one on our hands because I really want to get deeper into like this whole Diddy case.
I do too.
I definitely want to know more about like as far as like some of the witnesses that have went to the grand jury and gave some of this information, so we can kind of get like a better understanding as far as how all these charges led up to him getting arrested.
Yeah. Yeah.
And his house raided. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I feel like I kind of fell off the story a while back and I hadn't really been keeping up with everything. Yeah. So, you know, for whatever it's worth, I am interested in watching this next video we're going to jump into. You pulled it up.
Yeah.
When I saw the title, I was like, oh.
When I saw the title too, this title, it says full interview. Diddy court witness says he saw 8 sex tape with at least 2 celeb minors. Okay. We've been hearing some names floating around in the media. We've been hearing names of people that were underage around that time. Mm-hmm. So I'm really curious to know.
I wonder if
I know we're not gonna hear like any official names probably until the actual trial starts, but that's what everybody's that's what everybody's like hovering to right now.
Okay. Well, we're not going to hold y'all any longer. Let's jump into this video. Okay. Make sure you like and comment and subscribe. Here we go.
All right, let's check it out.
Because my next guest just testified before a federal grand jury. He says he was in possession of a trove of digital evidence from Diddy's freak-offs and parties. His name is Courtney Burgess, and he says a friend gave him 11 flash drives that belonged to the late Kim Porter.
A friend?
And if you follow this story, you'll know that Kim Porter is Diddy's ex-girlfriend and the mother of 4 of his kids. On those drives, the witness says 8 videos featured 8 celebrities at Diddy freak-offs or parties, and that 6 were males, 2 were females. The drive also included a manuscript of an alleged Kim Porter memoir, a memoir that her 4 kids insist is fake. Courtney Burgess told his story on a podcast before he told the grand jury today, and after he told the grand jury, and I mean immediately after, he booked it over to my set, and he and his attorney talked to me. I should tell you that he was very limited in how much detail he could go into about his testimony. And because the 8 people in the videos, the 8 celebrities in the videos were allegedly victims of sex crimes, we know who they are, but we will not be naming them, famous or not. Here now is my conversation with...
Why?
It just, like I said, all this stuff is for the trial. A lot of that stuff's probably sealed, obviously, you know? Sealed documents.
It ain't that sealed if she just said that they know who they are. They know.
Yeah, they know, but they're not going to say, like, it's, you know, like on a lot of those documents, like, names aren't completely on there. They might not, you know.
Oh, wait a minute. And they're are minors. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it would have to be sealed.
Okay. You don't have to explain
We got it.
Courtney Burgess and Ariel Mitchell, who's his attorney, beginning with the question of whether the participants in the video even knew they were being recorded. Were there any cameras in places where you'd assume privacy, like bathrooms?
Well, I've never been in this house, but the picture, yes. That's where it took place, yes.
You're aware of surreptitious cameras that were recording in private places like bathrooms?
I didn't see the cameras. You could tell how the person was angled. I knew that it was a camera there because I was there. You know, I was there. I don't know if the person was too tall, he was holding it or whatever, but I wasn't there.
May I ask you this, Courtney?
So
and Ariel, you can jump in on this as well, but I want to hear from Courtney first. Your home was raided by federal authorities, and I assume it is because of this material. Is that true?
I wouldn't say that. They just went to every one of them looking for me. They said, the paperwork said the 24th, that I had to be there the 28th, and then it was the 27th. I said, I can't make it there, that's tomorrow. So I don't know. From the look of it, it was 4 days.
And I want to be specific. When we talk about a raid, we're talking about when a subpoena is served for documents. a search warrant or an arrest warrant.
I hope
In
he
this
made
situation, Mr. Burgess was not in any way, shape, or form had a search warrant or an arrest warrant issued for him. It was just them serving a subpoena. So when the federal government needs to serve a subpoena, they use the Marshal Service to come to all of your residences if you have more than one residence. So in this situation, they sent marshals to all of Mr. Burgess's residences.
Okay.
And that was somehow construed or understood or turned into a raid, but he did not face a raid. It was just to serve him the subpoena.
Gotcha.
Ariel,
Okay.
do you believe that the subpoenas were issued and executed based on the federal authorities' knowledge that these flash drives existed and had this kind of compromising material?
I think it was based on statements that Mr. Burgess made in a prior interview.
Where's that interview?
Prior interview.
And those statements include descriptions of what the witness says he saw on those tapes. So I asked him about that, and he answered what he could, given the limitations imposed on him after testifying before the grand jury.
Oh, gosh.
Out of those 8 videos, 8 celebrities, 6 men and 2 women, how many of those 8 celebrities were close to being underage or potentially underage?
2 males.
2 males. And of those 8 celebrities, how many of them were intoxicated or under the influence of drugs?
This is going to be all speculation. I just want to preface it by he wouldn't know if
Appeared
they
to be.
were. Right.
Sure.
Appeared to
Let
be.
me rephrase
right.
it.
Based on, yes.
Understand. Out of the 8 celebrities who were recorded having intimate relations with Sean Combs, how many of them appear to be either inebriated or intoxicated or under the influence
All
of drugs?
of them.
All of them.
Out of those 8, how many appear to be potentially victimized? How many might have been victimizing?
I think all, to be honest.
Oh, what?
All.
Were victims
They
or
victims.
were perpetrating?
Victims.
They were all 8 were victimized.
Yeah.
Meaning
Victim.
this was happening to them and they were inebriated.
Right.
Wow.
Not knowing, I guess, how much proof it was in it, what they was doing.
Wow.
And of those 8, how many seemed to be potentially minors?
2 to 3, possibly 3.
2 to 3. Also on the flash drives, Courtney, was what looked to be a manuscript written by, it appears to be a woman who had taken Kim Porter's private journals and had written a book. Is that accurate?
What?
We don't know.
I
we don't know how. Yeah.
I don't know how, who wrote it, put it together, but it was from her when I spoke to her.
I thought they said, I thought Diddy came out, Diddy's account.
Yeah.
Okay, on Diddy's account on Instagram, he said that there was no book.
By Kim Porter?
Yeah. I thought there was no book.
Wow. Now, she just said that her kids were like disputing this manuscript. Like they were saying that it wasn't hers. I didn't even know there was a manuscript or a book.
So,
or a tell-all book even in the process.
On these drives that this man received.
Yeah.
Was this book or manuscript?
A manuscript.
And 8 videos of things taking place with 8 celebrities. 2 to 3 of them were minors.
Yeah, which were
and
male.
all of them appear to be inebriated.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody is holding the camera. Did I hear that right?
That's what he said.
On these videos that he got from on the drive.
That he got from the drive that he got from one of Kim Porter's friends.
No, that's diabolical. Like, no freaking way that you have this. I would have made copies. I'm not going to lie. Just in case they did come.
And then it makes me ask even more questions because we saw what happened to Kim Porter. Then she passed away from like pneumonia. Like, just mysteriously.
Babe.
You know what I mean?
To this day, I still don't think that she passed away from pneumonia. I just don't. I don't know what happened to her for real.
That's just what I saw.
But I don't believe for 1 second that because she was just like kind of like a health nut. Okay, I just don't believe it.
And she was fairly young too.
She was very young.
She looked like she was really young.
Yeah, unbelievable. I don't believe that for 1 second. I never have.
Received on the flash drives, was it the completed book or was it notes from Kim Porter that later were made into a book?
It was completed. It's only 60, only about 54 pages. It was
Sure, and in the beginning, it says, Kim made me promise that if something happened to her, I would make sure this book became public to the world. The way Sean moved, I knew that was a promise I would have to fulfill. Kim knew I was a woman of my word, and this book was going to make it to print. So it sounds like it is a woman who wrote up the notes from Kim Porter. Does that sound accurate?
It's how you read it, yes. I haven't even read the book.
Do you know who the woman is?
No.
And to be clear, he received it in its complete form. So I think just to make sure we have some clarity here, the manuscript that Mr. Burgess received was already in its complete form.
Hold on. Let me just say this. Because if Kim Porter sent me a flash drive and was like, hey, here's the flash drive, and all this stuff done already came up before, like maybe I never pulled it out the drawer or whatever, because it was just there. When I tell you I would go and pull that stuff and look at every single thing on there, I don't care how long this book is. I'm about to read everything on the book. But that was the thing. I remember now that we're talking about the manuscript, like people were talking about Kim Porter. If I'm not mistaken, like even back then when she passed away, it was so mysterious.
How many years ago it's been?
I can't remember.
3, 4, 5 years, something like that?
It's been a while. But when she passed away, I was reading a lot of people saying that Kim Porter wrote a tell-all book. But I don't think it was really any speculation as to what the book was about in particular. But they did say that. But we never saw a book. So for him to say that he had this dang manuscript.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
And he said it was completed.
And you ain't never read the book?
Yeah, I'm just wondering why you wouldn't if you had it in your possession. That's just me.
Okay.
Why wouldn't you have read it?
See, but that's what I'm saying. I feel like that's a little unbelievable because if I had possession of something like that,
you would have at least started reading it,
I would have
right?
pulled that shit out so fast. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Script that Mr. Burgess received was already in its complete form. It's not that he edited it or changed anything.
Got it.
He did give it to someone else who then edited it, but that's not how he received it.
So he gave it to someone
Ariel,
else.
did your client Courtney receive the book from the woman who seems to have written it, saying, "I'm a woman of my word, and this book is going to make it to print"?
I don't know if he received it from a man or a woman. He can answer that.
I received it from a man. I tell you, somebody she was dating.
Do you know if the notes from the book really were from Kim Porter?
It was, yes, because I spoke to her probably like 6 hours before I got it.
Wow.
Received it.
Wow.
You spoke to Kim Porter?
Yes.
So Kim Porter.
Just saying hi.
Okay.
Just saying hi.
Okay, Ariel, go ahead and give me clarity on the timeline.
No, I'm trying to get him to provide clarity of, was there a conversation with her?
No, I was talking to the person, and he said, hold up, this is Courtney, be right here. Let me say something to him. He said, I know him, put me on speaker. Then that's how we end up speaking.
And then later, somebody brought somebody else came and brought you the manuscript.
Right. Before I left ATL.
To the best of your knowledge, Courtney, do you believe that the manuscript is truly based on Kim Porter's diaries? Because there is a lot of dialogue in there. It is pages and pages of actual dialogue, which, I mean, I can't remember breakfast today, let alone dialogue from 5, 10, 15, and 20 years ago.
I guess this is a woman's scar. You understand? Maybe, what she been through. It's, I'm not a woman, so I'm just going by how I got female friends and relatives. They always come to the house scoring because what went on in their relationship.
Wow.
And when you're scoring, you can't forget it.
Important to stop down here for a moment and note again that Sean Combs is accused. He has not been convicted of any crimes, and so far everything against him is an allegation until it is proven in a court of law and a jury either decides or he decides to sign a plea deal to any of these crimes. But at this point in the story, Sean Combs is not guilty of any crimes. He is currently under indictment. He is currently being held on bail. But if you're at all curious about how Courtney Burgess feels about Diddy today, I asked him about that too. And here's what he had to say. Your lawyer just said the story the tapes tell are the story of Diddy from the last several decades. And I know that you've known Diddy for a very long time. Can you describe what that story is based on what you now know to be true, the last several decades of Diddy's behavior and the reason he's now sitting in lockup?
I think I've been doing it for 35 years. I think we probably entered the music business at the same time. He entered with Uptown, I entered into Big Beat, Atlantic. At the time, I guess he was ambitious. He was then from ambitious went to doing anything, and then from doing anything to didn't care about nobody, who he could beat, and then he ended up turning into Lucifer. Today, I look at him. I know y'all call him Diddy or Puffy. I call him Lucifer.
Damn.
He's I'm gonna call him Lucifer. Now, I mean, now I can completely see why his bail continues to get denied.
Wait a minute.
This is just a lot of information. This is a lot of like testimony, a lot of witnesses, and the more that it comes out, the more overwhelming evidence that we continue to see. That's why I'm like, there's no way that he's gonna get bail. I mean, at the end of the day, when the feds come, they already got everything on you.
Yeah, okay. So my thing, just to back up a little bit with the people who had access to these drives, because it seems like there was a lot of transferring of information. So I'm just like, how do you know like somebody's not pulling these drives up? They changed it, sent it to him. Because he said that a woman sent him the book, right? He said a woman first. What did the woman do, though? I don't know if the woman sent him the manuscript, because he said he received it from a man. I got confused when he said that. Mm-hmm. But it sounded like it was in more than one person's hands. That's all I'm saying.
I think it was a friend of Kim Porter.
Okay.
That got them to him.
And what is he? Like, so is he, who is Courtney Burgess?
It looked like he was like a manager, like he was in the music industry to some degree. Some type of manager where he, you know, friends of Kim Porter, where he basically been knowing Diddy for almost 30 years.
So where's the book?
I don't know.
I thought there was no book.
That's what a lot of people said. And then right before we started watching the video, the lady, she said that all of Kim Porter's kids are denying his manuscript, saying that it's fake.
Okay.
So it's like, who do you believe?
Right.
You know,
I mean,
because these could be words from Kim from the grave.
But look, if he went to go testify in front of a grand jury with this information, he was subpoenaed to court. Like, bring your ass, because we got questions. I gotta go find this interview that she was talking about. That I guess he talked to somebody else. She said something about him being on the podcast.
Yeah, about being on the podcast.
I definitely want to go and see what he talking about, because I feel like if he was already doing that had to have been before this whole court thing.
Gotcha, because this is my first time ever hearing of Courtney Burgess.
I've never heard of him before. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Now, I really thought there was no book.
This is my first time even hearing about it. And not even that, but what's being said. Because if anybody knows Diddy, it would be Kim Porter. Kim Porter, I think she's been with Diddy since maybe the 90s at least. Yeah, because he dated ZoeLo in the 2000s. So yeah, this had to go back to at least the 90s. You know what I mean?
I gotta go find. As soon as I get off of here, I'm about to go look him up. I'm gonna go find this interview. I need to see it. I want to know what he said. Yeah, and with him going to grand jury, like everything that he said, he had to say it under oath. Right.
You know.
And the other part of that is that what I don't believe though is him. I mean, maybe he has a straight face on, and you know he got to put on for the TV and the camera. But when I tell you I would have read everything on there and looked at them drives as fast as I could blink, like how does he know what's on the tapes and he don't know what the books say?
I feel like he had to have read it. I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, wondering eyes was gonna wonder.
Right.
Point blank. Period. At the end of the day.
So hasn't read the book.
Maybe he couldn't say it. Maybe that's just something that he has to say because he's on national television and they're asking him questions.
You can tell us how many men and female are on the tape, but you can't tell us what the books say.
Right. But you have all this stuff on his drive. Again, like I said, I've never heard of him, so this is my first time even hearing anything that he had to say, especially when it came to like the videos, when it came to like this manuscript. I want to know what Kim Porter talked about, because if anybody knows the dark secrets, it's gonna be her.
Yeah, and ZoeLo and
then that could, and then also things that's in that manuscript could potentially could point directly to some of the stuff that I heard Gene Deal say, because Gene Deal was around Kim Porter. He talked a lot of stuff.
That
talked about a lot of things that Kim went through.
Kim, that came from her. So Kim had that in her possession too.
And then also,
maybe that's
and you know what else
I'm
thinking about too is with you bringing that up. Why would she keep that under wraps? Like she had to have been planning something. She had to have known that anything that she's talking about or any type of like journal that she has where she's journaling things, like she would definitely have to keep that out of like anybody's possession.
Right.
Because anybody that would get that could potentially get that to Diddy or Diddy could find out about it.
Yeah. Right.
So that brings up even more questions, even with her passing. even that to me was like really, really suspicious. Because like you said, Kim Porter was a health nut at the end of the day. And for her to pass away from something like pneumonia.
I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying it's impossible. Anything's possible.
Anything's possible. Yeah, I just got a lot of question marks regarding that. And then like you said about this book even coming up. I've never heard anything about Kim Porter ever having a book.
Who knows?
A tell-all book.
She might have caught pneumonia from writing the book. I mean, she was outside writing the book. I mean, she got pneumonia.
Babe. No. I don't know.
I'm telling you what happened. That could have been what happened. She might have been outside in the way, they in New York, it's cold. She got sick.
I've known people that had pneumonia that's way older than her that bounced back quick from pneumonia. I've never even heard pneumonia. I mean, maybe to somebody that's older, like an older person, maybe elderly person that might get it. It may have a worse effect, but somebody that's healthy like us gets that. I just don't see the mortality rate being high.
I don't either. Not even a little bit. Like I truly believe, like if I'm being completely honest, to say what it is, like I just think that there was more to it than just that. You can read between the lines. There's more to it than just her catching that. And I think somebody should go and exhume her body and do another full investigation, because there were multiple autopsies and they both said something completely different as to what the cause of death was. So the first one disappeared and so did the doctor.
Got you. I would want to hear more about like Courtney Burgess, especially like Kim Porter too. I've never even heard Kim Porter even like speak. Like maybe there's things out there, but I've only heard of her, but I've never heard her like physically. I've never seen a video or an interview from Kim Porter. Yeah. I'd be interested to see something now.
Y'all chime in. Let us know what y'all think about this in the comment section. If y'all have some more recommendations for us to check out, make sure y'all shoot us a message on Instagram, Facebook. Follow us on all of our social media platforms. #AsianBJ. And if y'all enjoyed this, give us a big thumbs up. Like, comment, subscribe, smash the notification bell. And if ain't nobody else told you today, I love you. And we're going to see y'all in the next video.
Peace and blessings.
Yeah.